Hey YouTube, what's going on? Now check this out. The word on the word of the day. Anyway, the word of the day is, the thought of the day is, in order to get what you want, you have to get rid of what you don't want. Yeah. So with that being said, yes. With that being said, I have to tell you guys, we're gonna call this blog "Marriage Woes and Them Hoes." Yes. So let me tell you, when um, you have to have trust in things. You have to have faith in things. When two people are not getting along, you have to step back for a minute, give that person that space, and then you guys gotta work it out. Whether you have friends there, family there, whatever the case may be, it all boils down to you two guys, not everybody else. You two guys, and you gotta stay strong. In order to make a marriage work, you have to listen to each other. You can't yell at each other, and you can't fuss and fight like that. You have to listen to how the people are, and you can't change nobody because you're your own self. Exactly. But in a relationship and in marriage, you have to respect other people's wishes, not other people's wishes, but other people's views on things, and you also have to have respect for other people, especially when you're married or in a relationship. Doing things that other people don't appreciate can definitely put a wrench in your relationship. You know, but when you're in a relationship, you gotta own up to what you did. You have to say, yeah, I fucking did it, and this is what happened, and this is why I did it, and explain, sit down and talk to that person why you did this. And then if the other person did something as well, they need to own up to what they did too. It takes two. Two wrongs don't make a right, but if the two did it, then so be it. You have to own up to what you did. You cannot tell a one-sided story of, so-and-so did this, so-and-so did that, so-and-so did this, so-and-so did that. But yet, you're quiet as a church mouse over here when somebody asks you, what did you do? Nothing, I was a little wrong and this and that and another, but so-and-so did this and so-and-so did that. Oh, poor me, poor me. Or, oh, you can't be like that. And things, because different people react. I'm just giving you different scenarios of how people in different relationships act, because I've been hearing and I have seen a lot of relationship issues today and throughout the week as well. So, I'm just giving you, not in particularly talking about people, but I'm just saying I've seen some things this week. And with that being said, I have to talk about the relationship thing. You can't have a one-sided relationship. You can't point fingers at the other person if you're just as wrong as well. You have to own up to what you did just as well and say, I did this, and, you did that, and how can we work on this? Marriage is like this, You have to have that rock. You have to stay, together and figure out how to come back together when it kind of, gets a little untangled. Figure out how to get back together, because you spent a lot of time, especially if you've been together for a while. You spent a lot of time with that person, and you're gonna let one little thing fuck it up, or maybe several things fuck it up, and you got work. No, you work on it. You work on things like that. You cannot hold a grudge when you're in a marriage or a relationship. Holding a grudge starts too much anger and puts a vibe in the air, especially between two people who know each other very well. You have to let some things go just as well as other people have to let things go. So it's a two-way street, and one person ain't riding on it. So one person ain't riding on that two-way street. It's a two-way street. Two people are riding on it. So two people have to be cautious and deal with what the thing is. And another thing is to trust too. If something happens where you're hiding this and you're hiding that and you're hiding this, if you did not do nothing wrong, but if you're not doing nothing wrong, then why hide it? Let it go. Let it go, and if see if that person trusts you or whatnot and stuff like that. If you're upset right away and stuff like that, then that's understandable. But eventually that person will come around if you give them time as well as they give you time. But you have to work on it and stuff. You can't have a one-sided story per se, and you cannot have anger that's one-sided as well. So and think about it too. If you have different people in different relationships who are different, and you have to deal with that difference in things, why hold a grudge when one person could turn their emotions off just like that? Or the other person lingers and lingers and lingers, but eventually they go flatline and they're chill and their emotions go away. But somebody turns their emotions off like that, you know, you're married to them, you know how they are. Why hold a grudge against that if you know how they are? Just as well as the people's emotions and how people are and things. And when you're married, you have to also think about your consequences and what you do. You have to think about that. You can't say, "Oh, I did this and stuff," but I think it's wrong that are mad at me about this and stuff. Own up to what you did. Own up to what you did. If you did something wrong, if I did something wrong, I'm going to say, yeah, I did something wrong. This is what happened. If that person did something wrong, hey, they have to say they did something wrong just as well. We're not perfect. And in a marriage, things are not always perfect. There's going to be some tough times that you're going to have to go through and things. And with that being said, in order to get what you want, get rid of the stuff you don't want, all the anything that's indulging, that's childish and little, texting behind your partner's back that might be inappropriate. Having someone who or somebody who wants to do a one night stand or a jump off or just be a fucking hoe and mess around and screwing them on the side behind your husband or wife's back, or even little flirty things and stuff like that. You gotta consider your other half because you're married. I'm speaking with the marriage situation right now. Relationships a little bit different, but marriage is you open up and you open your mouth and you be honest with the other person, and you say, "Hey, I'm sorry," and the timing might not be right and things like that, but that's something that you're gonna have to deal with. And if that person do something and the timing ain't right, that's something that person has to deal with. You get me? You feel me? I mean, that's just how marriage works. Marriage is really a wonderful thing, but marriage is also a tough thing as well. Especially when you're new to a marriage and you don't understand some things, you have to sit down and talk with that person so you can understand. You have to sit down and understand that there's a lot of things that could cause a lot of woes in relationships. So, with that being said, if you have something that's gonna cause a woe in a relationship, don't hide it. Take care of it. Deal with it. Don't hide it. Don't smooth it over. Deal with it. Because I guarantee you, I swear, and I know, and I can tell you, I guarantee you, you hide it or you smooth it over, it's going to come back and bite you 259,099,9999% in your ass. That's what it's going to do. It's going to absolutely bite you in the ass if you have issues or have something negative come into your relationship and you hide it and you smooth things over. It's going to bite you in the ass. And it may be a really tough thing to get out of. But if you're married or if you're in a relationship, you work on that. You work on that, You stand your ground. You own up to what you did. You might not be perfect. You might not be that person that is welcome right now in that relationship. But at least you know that you worked on it and you got it taken care of. And you also be able to say you're sorry. and be able to say that you're wrong. You know, I personally believe in saying in that you're wrong. You know, or owning up to it that you're wrong, or owning up to the responsibility that you did, and if it hurts somebody, owning up to that you did hurt somebody, and vice versa. You know, it's a two-way street. That means two cars are riding on that bitch. You know, two cars are going up and down the street, back and forth, and things like that. Sometimes you gotta slow down and ride together. You know, so hopefully it's a four-lane, two-way street. But yeah, you gotta ride together, and that's what marriage is about. You know, and once you establish that bond, nobody can come in between you two. But you have to work on it where you get to that bond, and you cannot have one person working on it and the other person over here balled up with that grudge, because if you still have that grudge, then you still have a problem with it. And you know, you gotta work on trust, and it takes a while to earn that trust back. But if you're willing to work on your relationship and work on it and having that bond, then hey, so be it. You do what you got to do if you love that person. So remember, next time when you're going through something in a relationship or a marriage, you have to, in order to work to get what you want, you have to get rid of what you don't want. So with that being said, everybody, I'll talk to you next time, and I'll see you guys later. Take care. Have a good night. Bye.